Hello, I'm Elton Robinson with your November 18th grain and oilseed update. According to USDA's crop progress report, 93% of the U.S. corn crop, 90% of the grain sorghum crop, and 97% of the U.S. soybean crop had been harvested by mid-November. 92% of the nation's peanut crop is harvested. 94% of the winter wheat crop has been planted and 84% of the crop has emerged. 79% is listed in fair to good condition. According to Ag Rural, the Brazilian soybean crop is 63% planted compared to 60% last year. Soybean planting in Mato Grosso is 90% complete, and 82% of the soybeans in Paraná have been planted. The slowest planting is in northeastern Brazil. Much of the Brazilian corn crop has been planted according to the Corn and Soybean Advisor. The most advanced corn in Paraná is filling grain. Some corn in the state of Minas Gerais is still being planted. 90% of the corn in Paraná and Rio Grande do Sul is listed in good to excellent condition. And now let's move to exports. This summary is based on reports from exporters for the period November 4th through the 10th. Wheat exports of 402,000 metric tons were up 6% from the previous week and 12% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were Morocco, Brazil, South Korea, Mexico, and Algeria. Corn exports of 540,000 metric tons were down 39% from the previous week and 31% from the prior 4-week average. The primary destinations were Mexico, Peru, El Salvador, Colombia, Japan, and Guatemala. Grain sorghum exports of 9,000 metric tons were down 90% from the previous week and 81% from the prior 4-week average. The destination was Mexico. Rice exports of 69,000 metric tons were up 46% from the previous week and 14% from the prior 4-week average. The primary destinations were Mexico, Japan, Canada, El Salvador, and Saudi Arabia. Soybean exports of a tad over 3 million metric tons was a marketing year high, up 11% from the previous week and 10% from the prior 4-week average. Destinations included China, Mexico, Vietnam, Turkey, and Japan. Soybean meal exports of 163,000 metric tons were down 33% from the previous week and 5% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were Mexico, Thailand, Morocco, Jamaica, Venezuela, El Salvador, and Canada. Soybean oil exports of 8,300 metric tons were up 58% from the previous week, but down 62% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were Mexico, Canada, and Trinidad. Beef exports of 10,500 metric tons were down 44% from the previous week and 25% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were Japan, South Korea, and Hong Kong. Pork exports of 23,000 metric tons were up 11% from the previous week and 16% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations Mexico, Japan, South Korea, and Canada. Well, that's it for this week's report. I'm Elton Robinson, and we're wishing you a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.